afternoon, YTPC. How are you all? Glorious day, Tuesday afternoon here, July the 7th. Hope all our American friends had a lovely 4th of July and a lot of fun. And I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. Got a pile of videos now to make because I was last week in the valleys doing more hikes, and got another one to show you about South Faye, but I'll do that in a separate video. I'm catching up a little bit on other things that I wanted to do. Just housekeeping. This is a Kaywoodie pipe, but actually a new one made by the great Bill Feuerbach. And there's a bit of a story to this one because came perfect condition, beautiful, and stupid me, of course, I dropped the stem and chipped it, and I tried to sort of piece it together, but it sort of came out a bit wonky. So I wrote to Nathan at Greywoodie, who sells these lovely remakes of the Keywoodie originals. With, of course, he sells them, but Bill Feuerbach and his team make them, and said, "Can you help me? You know, I need a replacement." Sent some photographs and did some measurements. And he says, "Yeah, you know, we'll get it sorted." Of course, it took time because of the COVID story and post, but a few days ago it arrived, and a personal note from Bill Feuerbach, which is very, very kind of him, giving me some tips about how to slightly fine adjust it if it's a bit tight. But actually it was absolutely perfect fit, slots in there. This is actually just a non-filter one, but I put this 4mm paper filter in to take a little bit of the moisture, and it's absolutely perfect, beautiful. I think a very graceful Zulu pipe. So I've mentioned it before in a previous video, but just wanted to show you, if you ever damage something on your pipe, there's people out there who can help you. So you can always fix these things up, that's my point. So a great shout out to Nathan at Kaywoodie. If you want a nice Kaywoodie pipe, brand new, go there. Very, very good. And also to Bill Feuerbach. Thank you, sir, very much. I much appreciate your advice and your excellent job on making this replacement stem for me. Thank you. In it is something I got a while ago from Four Noggins, because our good friend Jeff Aromatics had tried it, and a number of reviews are out there on Scotty's pancake mix, and it sounded so good and so lovely and sweet, and you know, full of pancake and cake sort of flavour and aroma. I got 8 ounces, and so I'll take the risk. And again, well, I'm a typical aromatic guy, so I like it anyway, don't I? It's like a kind of sweet cup. It's almost like a cupcake for me. There's a kind of this sort of doughiness that you get in a pancake there too, so the name is quite fitting. And it's not sort of too sweet that it's sort of saccharine or synthetically sweet. It's very, very nice. I could easily all day smoke this. You see the black Cavendish in there, and I think it's a Burley, bit of Virginia. So wasn't really wanting to review it, but Certainly for anyone who's got a sweet tooth and likes aromatics, it's one to have in your cellar. Talking of which, my cellar is bursting at the seams. I've really got to stop now getting any more blends, because I've got enough for the next 100 years, I think. But it makes me feel good, you know. It's like my wine cellar is also bursting at the seams now, because I went to the valleys in Switzerland, bought a bunch of wine, beautiful Pinot Noirs, and the Cornelin, which is the Roman grape wine, at least legend says, but it's a really lovely wine. So all my racks are full, and I've got cases sitting there in the cellar. Beautiful. And finally, a bunch of Tampers arrived. I ordered like in March, I think it was, some more Sir Walter Raleighs, because in the first gore I did, I gave some of those away and didn't have any more, but now I've got a few more. Really lovely tamper, and tribute of course to Sir Walter, who got us into this game, or at least helped it, you know. The lighter is the United States of America. Great country. Saw some lovely videos, and thanks again to showing all those great firework displays and celebrations, and also thoughts that people had looking in the past and the future of the United States. Now, you'll all be asking, what is this big golden box here? Well, a little while ago now, and my apologies to Cliff, who in fact a long time ago actually mailed the box, and it was unfortunately the peak of Corona got in the way of it, so it took a long time to arrive. But it did arrive, and there was one for me and one for my dear friend John Panzer, whom I shall meet tomorrow and pass that box on to him, Cliff, and we both thank you very much. Look at this lovely bro note. I mean, only a man of Cliff's distinguished character would seal it like that with wax, although I know Kitty Maximum did the same thing. I'm going to have to get one of these. I won't be keeping up with the Joneses if I don't. Beautiful. So lovely that I decided to leave the seal on, because I will keep this in my box of treasured things. And I opened it with another one of my knife collection, and today's celebrity star is the Fairbairn Sykes Royal Marine Commando knife. It's an absolute beauty. This is the Sheffield version, remake, or if you like, not an original that was used in the time of the Second World War, but that's when these were actually deployed to the behind the lines teams of Royal Commandos who had to go in and do a quiet job, and this knife certainly helped them to do that, and they were specially trained to use it, because as you see, this is really a kind of stiletto dagger type of knife. You can sharpen the edges, which I've done with this one, which is how I opened this. It's a very good letter opener, but it's really meant for piercing action. And there's a number of very good videos about the history of the Fairbairn Sykes knife and what its specialties are. There was actually a book given to the trainees of the Commandos, who basically gave 13 places that you can plunge this in, how long it takes for the person to lose consciousness, and how long it takes them to die. I mean, it's absolutely no question what you're supposed to do with this. Well, I like to open my letters with this, and because I've sharpened the edges too, although that was not the primary way to use it, but you could slash to escape, and it's quite fascinating, a little bit gruesome to read the books of the techniques that they used and what circumstance. They really tried to think out what could you be your circumstance and how would you use this. But if you sharpen the edges, you can cut very nicely cheese with it, which is a lot of what I do with my knives. Not so easy to throw this, and in that situation you wouldn't really throw this kind of knife. This was for close in and quiet work, and never leave your hands sort of knife, which is why I keep it next to my bedside table, just in case, you know. You could actually wear it as a boot knife, and it comes with a little sheath. Anyway, enough about my knife and knife collection. This beautiful bro note, and look at this lovely handwriting here of Doctor, of course, Clifton Higgins. Cliff's a dentist, in ink. Thank you, Cliff. This is like, I'm overwhelmed by your gift here. I mean, it is full of beautiful things, and it talks about all kinds of lovelies which are inside of it. And one, for example, are 3 books about history, because Cliff knows I'm interested in American history and in all of its phases, and this about the Wild West, these 3 books. And the first one he suggested I read is about Wild Bill, who I always admired. Wild Bill, I mean, he is absolutely the legend, and for all of his history. So I'm very much looking forward to proceeding with that. I've read a little bit, and I will give you some feedback, Cliff, on that one. And of course that's not it. There were 2 other books. One on the last gunfight, that one's to be read last. And A Terrible Glory, and that's about Custer and the Little Bighorn, which will be also fascinating, with lots of pictures in it as well. So got plenty of good reading there. And of course we both share a certain admiration for Sean Connery, and Cliff mentions this is what he thinks is the best photograph of Sean Connery. I do agree. He looks so suave and debonair, but at the same time very lethal in that pose. So I shall be looking through there, and that article as well. And on the back we've got Daniel Craig looking very chic and modern with his lighter grey suit. That's very much a pose and a look, I think, that Daniel Craig carries very successfully in a different type of Bond figure. And talking of Bond and pistols and so forth, there was a great video that Cliff did about his son with shooting a PPK. I must say your son shoots very well, probably better than I do. And he sent me this marvellous keyring, which is made out of a 9mm and a 223 shell, so a rifle shell and fitting into a pistol shell. Let's take it out of this bag. It's all beautifully wrapped, you know, so everything's arrived in pristine condition. Look at that. What a great keyring that is, with a Glock of course attached to it. So I think that will become my primary keyring now for my my lovely Z4 BMW. So this will jump onto my keyring after this video. But I was amazed how much you could get into a box, Cliff. I mean, he sent me also these lovely sticky holsters, so the pocket holsters that you put your, if you've got a smaller pistol like a PPK, it fits very nice in there and allows you to draw it very quickly from your trouser pocket without snagging or anything like that, and also protects your pistol against fluff or stuff that might be in your pocket. And it's sticky because this surface here isn't actually sticky, but it basically stays in your pocket when you take the pistol out, that it doesn't come out with the whole cover. So, and you sent me 2 of those, very generous, sir. I do appreciate it. I've got several little pistols which, for example, my Ruger LCP2 will fit very nicely in this. Even though it was travelling for so long in the slightly warmer weather of spring, fortunately not too warm, these survived the journey. And I don't know how Cliff knew it, but I like these Reese's bars, and you can't get them over here because I like peanut things. And this is marvellous. I do appreciate that very much, because you know I've got a sweet tooth, so you hit the nail right on the head with that one. Fantastic, huh? Can you believe it? And he wrote me such a lovely bro note here with all the details of course, about my stickies there. And oh yes, I have to show you this. I have to show you this. This was made by Professor Jeremiah. Thank you, sir, very much for your skill in making this beautiful sheath in bison leather. Can you believe it? With a lovely little silvery clasp there. Isn't that beautiful? With pipe cleaners in them. But you could put, I'm almost thinking I could put a small knife in here, like a boot knife, you know, something like that. But pipe cleaners fit also perfectly in there. It's just so beautifully made. Can you believe it? Thank you. Like I said, I had to sit down and sort of repose and have a small glass of whiskey while I was opening this the first time. I was peeked in and saw everything. And then, of course, to give this package the right character, Cliff, being a dentist, sent me some fantastic toothbrushes from Colgate, which is one of my favourite toothpastes. So I shall definitely look to be using those. And very clever, Cliff, very clever. They are labelled, of course, with his practice, dental practice. That's a fantastic idea. Why don't they do that over here? Brilliant. Excellent. And then, of course, there's more. In this lovely sealed bag, within another sealed bag, are 3 tobacco blends. 3. Well, I know this one because I've heard about it. I did try some, I think, almost a year ago, and thinking I must get some more because I did enjoy it. And here it is, vanilla custard Sutliff. Beautiful. Nicely vacuumed in these little Ziplocs. Oh, you can almost smell it through the plastic. It's fantastic. I don't know anyone who does not like this blend if you're an aromatic lover. I mean, I'm going to really enjoy that. I know Professor Jeremiah likes this one very much. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you very much. And then he sent me some Dr. Phil's, and Dr. Phil's is from a local tobacconist. Now, he did give me all the lowdown on it here. It's from a proprietary blend from the Virgil Avenue tobacconist in Buffalo, New York. I went there once, a lovely town, Buffalo, on business. Didn't have much time to look around. Shame I didn't smoke then, otherwise I would have gone to the tobacconists. I'm sure this is a lovely, lovely blend. I'm going to look forward to that. It says it's rather unique, a mild English, but there's something about it I cannot describe. I'm looking forward to that one. I like a mystery. I love a mystery. And then we have got a third one, and the third one is Cades Cove Cavendish. That sounds very special. And you sent me a lovely quantity here. It's probably more like probably more than 2 ounces there for sure. So I'm going to jar these up, and one of them I will keep open to put into my rotation. So the Codes Cavendish blend is from Gatlinburg in Tennessee, and apparently it has been their best seller for 30 years, so it must be good. So I'm looking forward to trying that. Wow, can you believe all the things that were in that box? So one mega thank you, Cliff, for your kindness, and I don't know what to say. You're so generous. I will have to revenge myself on you, no question about it. Beautiful. I just need to relight. Hold on a second. So I'm still playing a bit of classical background here, but the next video I think I will introduce my gramophone player, which is a Geisha machine from about the late 1930s, and it's quite an interesting one because it's got a double spring, so basically with 25 turns you can do both sides of the record. Anyway, you will see it in my next video. And also, talking of older things, a bit more about clay pipes, because though I thought on trying a clay pipe for the first time, maybe it's not for me, I still find them very attractive objects. So I ordered a few from Rex Key, who everyone thought retiring, but he still makes these pipes in England, probably one of the very last, and they arrived. So that's a different kind of YABO for the next video. Anyway, hope everyone keeps well. Take care of yourselves, everyone. See you next time. Cheers. Bye bye.